Some voices are heard, a few are remembered, and some leave a lasting impact. Hello everyone, and welcome to Dips Vartala, a platform for thoughtful conversations with individuals whose journeys reflect leadership, purpose, and real-world experiences. I am Shri Anil, and through this podcast, we explore stories that go beyond achievements to uncover choices, values, and human side of success. Today's episode is very special as this is the maiden episode of Dips Vartala, and we are joined by one of the senior most Indian Police Service officers, Shri Anil Palta, Director General, Rail Jharkhand, a leader who stands at the intersection of law, ethics, and public services, and is an awardee of prestigious President's Award and several other accolades for his outstanding work. So get ready for an insightful conversation on discipline, decision making, and what it truly means to serve the country beyond the badge.
Thank you so much.
Before we begin, I want everyone to imagine something. A classroom full of students, not years ago, but today. Same bench, same walls, but a completely different world of learning. This brings me to our first question for you, sir, that a student in 2005 is there where it's exam dominating, rote learning, and book is knowledge. Paper books are there. Whereas a student in 2025 is there where AI tools, machine learning, technology, digital learning, online courses, ebooks are available. So what are the changes in the format structure of Indian schooling and education system, sir?
Our time was very different. We were more into reading from books, very little use of technology, never saw any computers in school. But then there was a whole lot of much more reading than today. We read much more than what the average student reads these days. And there was also a whole lot of impetus on sports and extracurricular activities. So times have changed, but our days were a different genre. Today is a different genre, and with more technology today, you have the world at your fingertips. Information flows much faster. So maybe you have a wider horizon, but our roots were much deeper.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So my next question is, with every changing appearance for a better world, we receive so many challenges and objectives to overcome. So in this changing world of academics, experiences, we want to know how the young learners will be tested.
You have a very rapidly changing world. If you notice over the past 1 year with the advent of AI, such revolution in the work environment is taking place. So you have to very rapidly adapt to changing times, changing technologies. You have to keep learning new skill sets. Otherwise, you will get redundant as times change. And we must also realize that education or our degrees must match up to the skill sets needed in the work environment. So that gap is there, and all institutions must work to plug these gaps. Times are changing, and the student nowadays must act very fast to adapt to new technologies. Otherwise, you might just end up losing jobs if you must be reading over the past 1 year because of changes in technology. So many people have lost their jobs also.
Yeah. So this connects the breeze to my second question as well, that there are two scenarios. Two students are there. The first student having multiple degrees, high academic performance, bare minimum skills, and no extra skill learning, no extracurricular activities, and they lag behind in the future. Whereas the second student is there having the balanced grades, strong skills, creativity, leadership, internship programs. They thrive, adapt, and innovate in this fast-pacing world. So, sir, how the changing environment of academic world going to address the disparities of the two different communities of learners?
I'm a very strong votary of a well-rounded personality. Rote learning, Repetitive learning can get you good marks in exams, but they will never lead you beyond a point in a professional environment. So, the more well rounded you are, the more diverse skill sets that you possess, you are more likely to succeed in your professional career. Just mugging up for the exams and scoring high marks, they can lead you only up to a point. But beyond that, you need life skills, you need adaptation skills, you need those skills which help you grasp what is going on around you. So, marks only up to a point. Beyond that, you have to be a multifaceted personality.
That's right, sir. Thank you so much. How a student is going to balance the academics and extra skill learning? It's a difficult task, right?
No, it's not a difficult task. We spend so much time on wasteful things. Our times, since we had no access to mobile phones, we had no access to laptops, we had no access to iPads, we had no access to computers. So we were either studying or playing or doing extracurricular activities. Now a lot of time of young people is spent just poring over screens, and a lot of very opinionated, unverified information is getting into your heads. Physical reading has come down, sociability has come down, you have far lesser number of friends. We still have a lot of friends from school days. You know, I still have friends who studied with me in class 1 and they still visit me with their families. We go and visit them. So they are a great support system for you in times of distress, in times of needs. So this slight isolationism that the present technology has introduced into a student's life, I think children need to balance between how much time they are spending on Instagram or Facebook and spend more time outdoors, meet people, go out, meet relatives, go out on holidays and things like that. So it is very easy to balance. I'll give you an example. Who more busy than the president of the USA? And a very simple thing that he did was, Barack Obama I'm talking about, he played basketball every day, 1 hour of basketball. So if somebody as busy or important as him can find time to pursue his hobbies, I'm sure all of us can.
It's all about the priority.
It is all about time management and how you want to learn, how you want to imbibe what is around you, and what are your priorities in life.
Thank you, sir. So now the next question is that how the young learners were exposed to the changing world in your times?
You know, we were basically into learning through books and learning through what our teachers taught us. We had no coaching. We never took any tuitions. We were basically learning on our own and what the school environment or your teachers taught us. So it was reliance on physical sources of information like books, newspapers. So all of us got into this habit of reading newspapers far earlier than what these kids do today. Like I remember having started reading my first newspaper, and that was called Statesman Calcutta edition, class 5 onwards. And then you gradually got into reading magazines like India Today, Sunday, Week. So reading helps you register much more than an online environment. Physical reading helps you imbibe much more. Like I still read very, very heavily. I read contemporary politics, contemporary history, and I'm sure I can match up to any youngster of today while discussing any topic.
Thank you, sir. Sir, your message for the youngsters like me, sir.
My message is, like I said earlier, You need to be a diverse personality, and diverseness helps you meet unforeseen circumstances much better. Youngsters need to be more sociable. They need to go out and play more, go watch movies, go for picnics, go meet friends, go meet family. That environment, once imbibed, will make you into a much more confident person rather than sticking to your room and staring into mobile phones or staring into iPad and laptops and such gadgets. Technology is always a double-edged sword. While it places the world at your fingertips, there's a relatively dark side also.
Yeah.
So we have to be slightly careful about that. You need to be more adjusted to the social environment.
Thank you, sir.
Because of this isolationism, you see so many young children under pressure to succeed, watching the others, are ending up killing themselves. We never heard of all this during our times. Children were far more confident. Failure was taken in its stride. There are so many great innovators on this earth who have no degrees, no formal education, but they've been great innovators. They've created the top companies of today. So why must we judge ourselves by how many marks we are scoring in exams? Failure should be taken in your stride, and it helps you become a more confident human being.
Yeah, that's right, sir. Thank you. But in today's education system, still in India, the same tradition is being followed, right? Students are being judged on the basis of the marks rather than their skills.
Times are changing. The faster we realize, not only the students but the institutions also, that the more you help them learn what is needed in the professional environment rather than stress on marks, the better it is for the children. It's such a sorry state of affairs that most of the students coming out of, say, engineering colleges are first put through internships for a year or so that they learn what is needed in a professional workspace. So what have you learned for 4 years that you need to be taught again for a year or 2 years before you start actually working in a professional environment? So this divergence needs to be bridged. And somebody said, some big tech CEO in the US, he said, you can never expect a big tech company out of India because India is rote learning. He said, you can have an Indian CEO, but you will never have an Indian Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Because we don't think like that. We are mugging up and preparing and repeating the same question over and over again and feeling very happy about high marks. But it can lead you up to a point. But if you need to create, you need to be thinking differently.
So, sir, someone from India, if they want that I have to be like that, so how they will explore, how they will learn, what are the steps?
You have to learn to take risks in life. You have to have faith in your own capacity to create. The environment must support you, the government must support you. We are such a big country and very few Nobel Prize winners. And even from amongst them, those essentially from those who got in the science fields are all those who have worked abroad all their lives. They may have Indian origin, but their professional workspace has largely been abroad. So that is what I'm trying to say is marks only up to a point. Skill sets beyond that. Like my friends who are now the top bosses in the corporate sector, they tell me that your institution and your degree and your marks matter only up to the first job. Beyond that, nothing matters. Beyond that, how you deliver matters. So you may be from a stupid college with low marks, but if you deliver, they will place you above any fellow out of IIM Ahmedabad or say IIT Bombay or something. So it's how you deliver beyond the first recruitment. After that, nothing matters other than your delivery.
So for today's era, we must say that our Indian learners must focus on skill learning rather than...
Yes, you have to, because jobs are shrinking,
Yeah.
Government as an employer is now dragging its feet big time, because an average government employee gets much more than he delivers or much more than he deserves. And the cost of a government employee is very, very high. And he has to be supported not only till he dies, but till his spouse also dies. So 37%, this data which says that 37% of government revenue goes only on pension, which is totally unproductive. That is why now you find this tendency of new pension scheme and old pension scheme and unified pension scheme and contractual employments and reducing the number of people you are employing, because governments are not able to afford. And same is true for a lot of other structured employments, because machines and AI can do the same work within seconds.
Exactly.
So better adapt. Both the students and the institutions, they have to adapt. Otherwise, you are left with a huge army of unemployed, a very restless army, and you hear about these Gen Z events all around you. So that should serve as a reminder to us also. A few thousand youngsters clambering into a parliament can rip the whole structure apart, like they did in Bangladesh, they did in Sri Lanka, they did in Nepal, they are now doing in a lot of European countries, because their aspirations are not met. So the system must alter itself to meet the aspirations of the common man, of the youngsters especially. 18 to 35 is the bulk of the population is in the age group of 18 to 35. And their aspirations, if they're not met, it can be very explosive.
Exactly. Thank you, sir. Sir, I have a last question from you, that how a student will carry this whole burnout of having the aspiration but not executing it, not able to execute it due to circumstances and all.
That is what I'm saying, if all our focus is on competitive exams and government jobs. Let me be very honest about that. So we take a lot of pride in getting into some good engineering college or then getting into a government job, a corporate job, but structured employment is no longer able to absorb the number of students who are coming out. So you have to start learning to do your own things. Like in China, China in kindergarten, they are teaching young kids as young as 3 years old, to make cupcakes and pastries and flower bouquets or stitching clothing. So until you self-generate employment, formal employment, especially with the advent of AI and machines to do robots and machines, it's not going to be easy. And you see, even in India, the 4 major employers like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, they are also laying off big time. Yes, so we have to restructure our learning and how we skill our youngsters, and the society must learn to respect the self-employed. We have this problem of getting this feeling that somebody who's working for himself is low down on the social order, which is very wrong.
Exactly.
So if I am doing something on my own, I've set up a small factory, I've set up a small business, the society must treat me with equal respect. And once this social distinction between a stupid government job and an entrepreneur comes down, there'll be a solution to a lot of problems. Unemployment is a very serious situation now. I'll give you one small example. For Group D jobs in Indian Railways, which is like the most lowly of the jobs, for 37,000 vacancies, they had 1.25 crore applications. And that includes top-end degrees from PhDs and engineers and doctors and things like that. So So we better change, we better restructure.
So, what are the steps that can be taken for this?
Like I've been telling you, the courses must change, the syllabus must change, more skilling must come in. A plumber these days can earn much more than an engineer,
Exactly.
An electrician can earn much more. Somebody who works on furniture can earn much more. And look at China, it's the world's factory. It manufactures for the whole world. And there is a factory in practically every house. And that is how they're creating all their wealth and then coming out with astonishing technologies.
Yeah, thank you, sir.